Hello everyone. Today we will gain some basic knowledge about environment and environment law through some basic multiple choice questions. So without wasting any time, let's start with it. Consider the following statements related to the Water Prevention and Control of the Pollution Act and choose the correct option given below. The first statement is the act provides for the protection of birds and animals and for all matters that are connected to it, whether be their habitat or the water hole or the forest that sustain them. The second statement is the act aims to deal with waste arising from the ships along the coastal areas within a specified radius. The options are only first statement is correct, B only second statement is correct, C both first and second statement is correct, or D neither one nor the second statement is correct. The correct answer to this question is option D, that is, neither the first nor the second statement regarding the Water Prevention and Control of the Pollution Act is correct. Next question is the Forest Conservation Act 1980 have how many sections? Options are A 5 sections, B 8 sections, C 15 sections, or D 26 sections. The correct option to this question is option A, that is, the Forest Conservation Act 1980 have 5 sections. The next question is the chairmanship of the Arctic Council rotates every 2 years among the Arctic states. The first country to chair the Arctic Council was Canada. The next country to assume the chairmanship will be which of the following countries? Options are A. Iceland, B. Canada, C. US, or D. Norway. The correct answer to this question is option A. That is, Iceland will be the next country to assume the chairmanship in 1921. The next question is the International Center for Integrated Mountain Development is a regional intergovernmental learning and knowledge sharing center serving the 8 regional member countries of the Hindu Kush Himalayas. Its headquarters is at which of the following places? Options are A. Lalitpur, Nepal, B. Kathmandu, Nepal, C. Dehradun, India, or D. Dharamshala, India. The correct answer to this question is option A, that is Lalitpur, Nepal. The next question is in the Water Act, the entire national capital of Delhi has been declared as Water Pollution Prevention Control Area under which of the following sections? Options are A. Section 21, B. Section 23, C. Section 19, or D. Section 24. The correct answer to this question is option C, that is, under Section 19 of the Water Act, the entire national capital of Delhi has been declared as a water pollution prevention control area. So let's understand what is Section 19 entails. Section 19 states power of the state government to restrict the application of the act to certain areas. Clause A states notwithstanding anything contained in this act, if the state board, after the consultation with or on the recommendation of the state board, is of opinion that the provisions of this act need not apply to entire state, it may, by notification in the official gazette, restrict the application of this act to such areas or areas as may be declared therein as water pollution prevention and control areas or areas, and thereupon the provisions of this act shall apply only to such areas or areas. Each water pollution prevention and control area may be declared either by the reference to the map or by reference to the line of any watershed of boundary of any district are partly by one method and partly by another. Third, the state government may, by notification in the official gazette, A. Alter any water pollution prevention and control areas where, whether by way of extension or reduction, or B. Define a new water pollution prevention and control area in which may be merged one or more water pollution prevention and control areas or any other part thereof. So, let's now proceed to the next question. Which of the following arrangement is correct? Options are A. Strict liability is absolute liability minus exceptions. B. Absolute liability means strict liability minus exceptions. C. Strict liability is equals to absolute liability. Or D. None of the above. The correct answer to this question is option B. That is, absolute liability means the strict liability minus exceptions. The next question is, the noise pollution has been inserted as a pollution in the Air Act in which of the following years? Options are A. 1981, B. 1987, C. 1982, or D. in the year 2000. The correct answer to this question is option B. That is, in the year 1987, noise pollution was inserted as a pollution in the Air Act. The next question is, which of the following act of environment and ecology is associated with the principle that the law apply to every municipal authority responsible for collection, segregation, storage, transportation, processing, and disposal of municipal solid wastes? The options are A. Municipal solid waste management and handling rules. B. Environment setting for industrial project rules. C. Ozone depleting substance regulation and control rules. Or D. Batteries management and handling rules. The correct answer to this question is option A. That is, municipal solid waste management and handling rules entails the principle that law applies to every municipal authority responsible for the collection, segregation, storage, transportation, processing, and disposal of municipal solid wastes. The next question is, the Environment Protection Act was enacted by Parliament in which of the following years? Options are A. 39th year of Republic of India, B. 36th year of Republic of India, C. 37th year of Republic of India, or D. 40th year of Republic of India. The correct answer to this question is option C. That is, in the year 37th year of Republic of India, the Environment Protection Act was enacted by the Parliament. The next question is, which section of the Environment Protection Act 1986 prohibits emission or discharge of environmental pollutants in excess of standards? Options are A. Section 5, B. Section 15, C. Section 25, or D. Section 7. The correct answer to this question is option D. That is, under Section 7, the Environmental Protection Act 1986 prohibits emission or discharge of environmental pollutants in excess of standards. Now let's discuss and see what Section 7 explains. Section 7 states person carrying on industry, operation, etc. not to allow emission or discharge of environmental pollutants in excess of standards. The section says that no person carrying on any industry, operation, or process shall discharge or emit or be discharged or emitted any environment pollutant in excess of such standard as may be prescribed. The next question is, in which case concept of absolute liability was evolved in India? Options are A. MC Mehta versus Union of India, AIR 1997 SC 1086. B. MC Mehta versus Union of India, AIR 1991 SC 1086. C. MC Mehta versus Union of India, AIR 1980 SC 1086. Or D. MC Mehta versus Union of India, AIR 1987 SC 1086. The correct answer to this question is option D, that is MC Mehta versus Union of India, AIR 1987 SC 1086. The concept of absolute liability was evolved in India. The next question is, Bhopal gas tragedy was a gas leak incident on the night of 2nd and 3rd December 1984 at the options are A. Union Carbide India Limited pesticide plant, B. Unified Carbide India Limited pesticide plant, C. Union Carbide India Limited procurement plant, or D. Union Carbide Indo Limited pesticide plant. The correct answer to this question is option A, that is in Union Carbide India Limited pesticide plant, the Bhopal gas tragedy took place. The next question is, which of the following is correct? Options are A. As in strict liability, there are some defenses which are available to the wrongdoer, but in absolute liability, there is no defenses available and given to the defendant. B. As in absolute liability, there are some defenses which are available to wrongdoers, but in strict liability, there is no defenses available in the given to the defendant. C. Both absolute liability and strict liability are same. D. There can be no comparison between the absolute liability or strict liability. The correct answer to this question is option A. That is, as in strict liability, there are some defenses which are available to wrongdoer, but in absolute liability, there is no defenses available and given to the wrongdoer or the defendant. This statement is correct amongst the following. The next question is, the term handling is described in which of the following sections? Options are A. Section 2E of Public Liability Insurance Act 1991, B. Section 2D of the Public Liability Insurance Act 1991, C. Section 2C of Public Liability Insurance Act 1991, or option D. Section 2F of Public Liability Insurance Act 1991. The correct answer to this question is option C, that is under the section 2C of Public Liability Insurance Act 1991, the term handling is described. So let's see what does section 2 clause C of Public Liability Insurance Act states. Section 2 clause C defined handling as in relation to any hazardous substance means the manufacture, processing, treatment, package, storage, transportation by vehicle, use, collection, destruction, conversion, offering for sale, transfer, on the like of such hazardous substance. The last question is, the Environment Protection Act was enacted in furtherance of which of the declarations? A. Stockholm Declaration 1972, B. Johnsonburg Declaration 2002, C. Rio Declaration 1992, or D. Nairobi Declaration 1982. The correct answer to this question is option A, that is under Stockholm Declaration 1972, Environment Protection Act was enacted.